Hello, everyone. Welcome back for another video. I hope everyone's having a great day. Before watching the video, please subscribe and like it. The world of reality television has always thrived on charisma, drama, and family dynamics that manage to entertain, inspire, and sometimes shock. Among the many shows that have made their mark on viewers across the United States, Growing Up Chrisley stands out as a unique blend of Southern charm, millennial struggles, and a spotlight on the next generation of the Chrisley clan. With its focus on Chase and Savannah Chrisley, the two most prominent siblings of Todd and Julie Chrisley, the show spins off from the widely known and loved Chrisley Knows Best, which itself carved a niche for offering audiences a glimpse into the extravagant and often eccentric life of a wealthy Southern family. Since its premiere, Growing Up Chrisley has drawn attention for several reasons beyond its origins. Unlike its predecessor, which leaned heavily into the dynamic of the entire Chrisley family unit, this series focuses more narrowly on the lives of the two adult children as they navigate their own paths outside the direct sphere of their parents' influence. This shift allowed for more individual storytelling and character development, showing how Chase and Savannah handle everything from personal relationships to career pursuits while still grappling with the notoriety that comes from being part of a well-known television family. The show originally premiered on USA Network in 2019, spinning off after Chase and Savannah became fan favorites on Chrisley Knows Best. Their sibling banter, contrasting personalities, and shared ambition to step out of their father's imposing shadow created a natural framework for a spin-off. The initial season chronicled their move from Nashville to Los Angeles, a decision that embodied both their search for independence and the typical 20-something yearning to find meaning in new places. Viewers watched as the two attempted to establish careers in acting, cosmetics, and real estate, all while figuring out how to coexist as roommates. What set the show apart from other reality spin-offs was its tone. While Chrisley Knows Best leaned into over-the-top antics and Todd's flamboyant style of parenting, Growing Up Chrisley allowed for a more grounded, though still humorous, perspective. Chase, often seen as the laid-back and occasionally mischievous sibling, brought an energy of spontaneity and recklessness. In contrast, Savannah, always the more polished and driven of the two, provided a counterbalance with her business ambitions and strong will. Their natural chemistry, though occasionally contentious, gave the series an authenticity that appealed to a younger demographic while still retaining viewers of the original series. The Chrisley name has not been without controversy, and this aspect of the family's life naturally seeped into the viewing surrounding Todd and Julie Chrisley began to surface, including charges of bank fraud and tax evasion. Speculation grew around the future of all Chrisley-related television content. For Growing Up Chrisley, the situation posed a significant challenge. Would the public's perception of the parents impact the careers and projects of the children? Would the show continue despite the legal turmoil? Initially, the answer was yes. As the legal matters escalated, the show attempted to maintain a degree of separation from the scandals surrounding the family's patriarch and matriarch. The network doubled down on the focus on Chase and Savannah's individual pursuits. Episodes explored Savannah's deepening involvement in the beauty and fashion industry, particularly through her brand Sassy by Savannah, which gained traction in the cosmetics market. Chase continued to chase entrepreneurial dreams and delve into real estate ventures, although his direction often seemed more experimental. The show's format also evolved to reflect the changing priorities of its stars. Romance became an increasingly central theme, especially with Savannah's on and off engagement to Nick Curdles, a former professional hockey player. Their relationship was often portrayed with raw vulnerability, showing the emotional highs and lows of public love. Meanwhile, Chase's dating life offered a lighter counterpoint, often veering into comedic territory, but also showing genuine moments of reflection about what it means to mature under the microscope of fame. In terms of production value, Growing Up Chrisley maintained a polished yet accessible aesthetic. The show's pacing was relaxed, allowing for more intimate storylines without the forced drama that often plagues reality TV. Instead, conflicts were usually personal and rooted in real-life dilemmas, career missteps, communication breakdowns, questions about identity and future goals. The production team, many of whom worked on Chrisley Knows Best, brought consistency in style and tone, which helped maintain brand cohesion while giving the spin-off its distinct voice. As seasons progressed, it became clear that both Savannah and Chase were growing, not just in age, but in how they presented themselves to the world. Savannah's increasing confidence as a businesswoman and social influencer became a key theme. Her brand partnerships, public speaking engagements, and role as a model for faith-based resilience were highlighted as she began to take a more prominent role in public life. Chase's arc was more subdued but equally important. He began to show a deeper side, discussing his desire for stability, family, and purpose, hinting at a shift from the carefree persona he initially embraced. The show also provided a platform for conversations about mental health and self-worth. Savannah, in particular, opened up about struggles with body image and the pressures of social media fame. These moments gave depth to the otherwise light tone of the show, offering viewers a more nuanced picture of what it's like to grow up under public scrutiny. Such transparency resonated with many fans, especially younger viewers navigating similar pressures in their own lives. By the time the series entered its later seasons, questions began to arise about its longevity. Would Chase and Savannah continue filming? Would the show pivot once again? The answers have remained somewhat open-ended, especially as outside factors continue to influence production decisions. However, one thing has remained consistent. The sibling bond at the center of Growing Up Chrisley has provided a rich narrative foundation that still captivates its core audience. In 2022 and 2023, headlines around the Chrisley family were dominated by court rulings, prison sentences, and appeals. Todd and Julie Chrisley were sentenced to federal prison for their roles in a multi-million-dollar fraud scheme, a dramatic fall from grace for the couple once held up as examples of Southern success. The effect on the family's television ventures was immediate and profound. USA Network eventually announced the cancellation of Chrisley Knows Best, and speculation swirled about the fate of Growing Up Chrisley. Some assumed the show would end entirely, while others hoped it might rebrand or find a new home on another network or streaming Growing Up Chrisley continued to show signs of life. There were discussions about transitioning the show to a streaming service or reworking the format to include more of the siblings' personal projects. As media consumption shifts increasingly toward on-demand platforms, Chase and Savannah seemed poised to leverage their fame in more digitally native spaces. Their significant social media followings offered them opportunities to remain in the public eye, even if the television show paused or ended. Savannah, in particular, has signaled her intention to continue telling her story in other formats. She launched a podcast, Unlocked with Savannah Chrisley, which quickly gained traction. The podcast covers a broad range of topics, from family dynamics to faith, personal growth, and mental health, and features candid conversations with guests. Through this medium, Savannah has begun to reframe her narrative, taking more control over how her life is portrayed. Chase has made fewer public media moves but remains active on social media and in real estate ventures. There has also been speculation about a potential reimagining of the show in the form of a docuseries or lifestyle brand partnership. Some industry insiders have hinted at ongoing discussions about a new project that could combine elements of Growing Up Chrisley with a more documentary-style exploration of the siblings' lives in the aftermath of their parents' legal troubles. Whether or not these ideas will come to fruition remains to be seen, but the interest is certainly there. As of now, the future of Growing Up Chrisley remains somewhat in flux. The show, in many ways, has served as a case study in how reality television adapts to personal upheaval, changing audience expectations, and the evolving media landscape. What began as a light-hearted spinoff has grown into a more complex portrait of two young adults trying to find themselves in a world where fame is both an asset and a burden. Whether or not new episodes will air, the journey of Chase and Savannah Chrisley continues to unfold in real time through social media, public statements, and personal projects. For fans of the series, there remains a deep connection to the authenticity that Chase and Savannah have brought to their screen time. While the Chrisley family legacy has become more complicated in recent years, the core message of growing up Chrisley, the push for independence, self-discovery, and resilience, still resonates. As the landscape of reality TV continues to evolve, one thing is certain: the story of the Chrisleys, in all its triumphs and setbacks, family businesses. The Chrisley family, long known for their flamboyant lifestyle and reality television fame, has also cultivated a portfolio of business ventures that reflect both their entrepreneurial spirit and controversial public journey. At the center of this enterprise is Todd Chrisley, the outspoken patriarch whose sharp business acumen and commanding personality helped launch the family into the national spotlight, while the family's reality series catapulted them to fame. Their business ventures existed well before the cameras started rolling and have continued to evolve even amid legal battles, personal upheavals, and shifting family dynamics. Todd began his rise in the real estate world, where he built a lucrative career flipping homes and managing high-end properties. His early success in this field helped finance the lavish lifestyle that became a hallmark of the family's television image. He positioned himself as a self-made millionaire, turning financial savvy into a personal brand built on luxury, Southern charm, and sharp-tongued confidence. This business success was foundational to the family's image as a modern Southern dynasty, not only living large, but also claiming to be financially fearless. Beyond real estate, the Chrisleys expanded into other ventures, including fashion and beauty, often led by family matriarch Julie Chrisley, who expressed interest in product development and home lifestyle branding. The family leveraged their reality fame to explore branded merchandise, including clothing, fragrances, and household items with the Chrisley name attached. These efforts were supported by their large social media following and the loyal fan base from their reality shows. With the rise of digital platforms, the younger Chrisleys, particularly Savannah and Chase, also entered the entrepreneurial space, using their platforms to build businesses centered around beauty, wellness, and lifestyle. Savannah launched her own cosmetics and fragrance lines, branding herself as a beauty mogul in the making and promoting positivity, confidence, and self-care. Chase, meanwhile, has dabbled in creative production and endorsements, aiming to carve out a brand identity beyond the family's shadow. These ventures are reflective of a new generation of reality stars turning fame into business influence while balancing public scrutiny and private ambition. However, the family's business dealings have not been without controversy. Their legal troubles, including charges of tax evasion and fraud, cast a shadow over their financial empire and forced the Chrisleys to confront difficult questions about transparency, accountability, and reputation management. Even as some ventures were paused or scrutinized, the Chrisley brand remained a powerful force in pop culture, fueled by both loyal supporters and curious onlookers. Despite these hurdles, the family's business interests continue to draw attention, particularly in the areas of social media, influencing lifestyle branding, and digital entrepreneurship. With fans closely following their personal lives, every move made by the Chrisleys in business is amplified, scrutinized, and often admired. Their story is not just one of fame, but of resilience, reinvention, and the complex intersection of business and family in the public eye. Whether rebuilding from legal setbacks or launching new ventures, the Chrisleys remain a name that commands attention in entertainment and commerce alike. When the first season of Chrisley Knows Best premiered, it introduced audiences to a family unlike any other, boldly stepping into the reality television spotlight with a mix of Southern charm, unfiltered commentary, and a luxurious lifestyle that felt both aspirational and outrageous at once.